I wouldn't make a shout-out video if the subjects of this video weren't absolutely fucking amazing. The only reason that I've delayed until now to make this kind of video is because I now have enough subscribers to actually make an impact on the number of subs that these excellent YouTubers would gain. Seeing as I wouldn't be where I am if not for the shoutouts of other amazing YouTubers, it is only appropriate that I do the same for others. I was once a YouTube nobody with fewer than 100 subscribers, but within a single year I'd managed to hit 5,000 subs, and the list has been growing exponentially ever since. Please show the same support to the excellent YouTubers that I'm about to introduce. Lucas H. is a fellow physics major with a sexy German accent and a predilection for preying on parasites like P.P. Simmons and Ian Juby. He uses his extensive knowledge of celestial mechanics to conduct particularly painful proctological procedures on perfidious pissants and pernicious pricks who pompously pontificate on planetary principles. If the sight of creationist arguments getting disintegrated by some fine German engineering brings tears of joy to your eyes, this is the channel for you. His subtlety is really great too, as his videos are full of delightful hidden gems that are made all the more wunderbar by the cruel evisceration of Schweinhunds and pieces of Scheisse. Speaking of astrophysics and sexy accents, Cool Hard Logic is unparalleled on YouTube when it comes to the destruction of geocentrism. While he also goes after things like homeopathy and Nibiru, the real treat in this channel is watching him introduce his British boots to the bungholes of religious fundamentalists that even I couldn't bring myself to address. His presentation makes the entire enterprise extremely bearable, however, so if you're entertained by the sight of flies getting swatted by nuclear missiles, subscribe to Cool Hard Logic immediately. While we're still on the topic of physicists, King Common Knowledge, as far as I'm aware, is also a physics major who has done a reasonably good job of smashing Ray Comfort's DVD into bite-sized pieces. By the way, my next video will be focusing on Ray Comfort's documentary, but my approach will be somewhat different from the other debunking videos you've seen. I'll say more on the subject after the 6th shoutout. While King Common Knowledge is relatively new to the YouTube scene, I have little doubt that he will continue to create excellent content. Sub this guy. By now, you probably think that I'm biased toward physics majors in my shoutouts, but the next shoutout is a lovely life science lady called Sally LePage. I cannot even begin to describe how much I love this channel. She is a biologist, and she is British! And not just British, this woman is the quintessence of Britishness, and I absolutely adore her channel, as should any layperson in biology whose ears respond well to British accents. I totally do not have a crush on you, Sally. Really, I don't. Seriously. If you love learning the basics of biology even though you're just a layperson like me, and if British biology bedazzles your brain and makes you babble like a boisterous baboon, then Sally's page is the one to go. Our next shoutout is another young lady who's been here for a while. Autumn Lauber, the self-professed 18-year-old atheist. Her wisdom is disproportionate to her youth, and as such she deserves both your respect and your subscription. Her style of presentation is of the vlog variety, and she generally has some pretty insightful things to say. Give her your subscription, your views, and your encouragement, as we may very well be witnessing a rising star. And speaking of rising stars, our final shoutout is another new YouTube channel belonging to Nellybutt. Do not underestimate her because of her age. I was deeply touched by the humanity, sensitivity, and empathy that this girl harbors, and I feel like hers is an angle that is sorely lacking in the atheist YouTube community. After a long day of crushing creationists and flaying fundamentalists, it's refreshing to see exactly what it is that makes us human, and the combination of lucid wisdom and heartbreaking blamelessness that she presents lets us see a story of the transition from innocence to adulthood, from delusion to reality, and from comfort to sanity, as well as the struggles that accompany the reconciliation of psychological sobriety and personal happiness. So now that I've offered you these excellent subscriptions, a few short announcements are in order. I've recently been challenged by a video made by Californian Christian creationist Joshua Douglas, but after having written the script, I found that it was too reminiscent of the scripts that I'd written when debunking Eric Hovind. This is a fan of Kent Hovind's, and I'm tired of addressing the same points over and over and over. I feel like the appeal of this channel is the unique angle that it presents, and making yet another anti-Hovind video just seems too easy at this point. For the record, however, I will be leaving a copy of the script on my Facebook page, which you should friend if you want exclusive updates, information, and maybe a chance to talk to me. Speaking of which, some of you have been messaging me and addressing me in the comments section, and I have to give my sincerest apologies to those of you who I don't respond to. I am really sorry. I was so touched by some of your messages and comments, and I really do want to respond, but there are only so many hours in the day, and I'm a full-time student who's no longer just majoring in physics and minoring in astronomy, but now double majoring in mathematics and physics while retaining the astronomy minor. I read all of your comments and messages, and your encouragement and kindness keeps me going. Thank you so much, and I am so sorry. Finally, I want to briefly talk about the next video I'm making. My response to evolution versus God will take on a significantly different angle from what you've seen before. I promise that it won't just be a repeat of the usual debunkings. I'm really proud of this script, and I really think that you will enjoy it tremendously, and perhaps even learn a thing or two from the fields that I'm particularly adept at discussing. I've also had the advantage of talking to Ray Comfort personally, which is a fact that I'll be heavily incorporating into the video. Trust me, it's going to be awesome. Following that, this year's Christmas special will be a parody of the presuppositional argument, hopefully followed by the final Hovind commentary. I've literally written 3 different drafts for this one, and none of them satisfied me, but I think I've finally gotten a good handle on the script, and so production will begin when my winter break starts. Thanks for tuning in, enjoy the YouTube channels of the next generation of rationalism, and stay pumped for the content that's coming your way. It's gonna be fucking awesome.